I'm Robert Timmons, and you're watching Weekly Words. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode, and I hope that everybody is having safe travels as they go to spend time with their friends and family for Thanksgiving. I pray that the food will be delicious and that you enjoy all of the fellowship and the time off from work and everything else that is part of that. But before Thanksgiving tomorrow, let's go ahead and check out this week's episode. So growing up, my siblings and I fell in love with lots of different movies and characters and songs. And one of the ones that stands out the most is Prince of Egypt, specifically, because of this one song called Through Heaven's Eyes. Now, if you haven't seen the movie Prince of Egypt, or you haven't heard the song, or you're not familiar with it, you should definitely check it out. It is really good. Now, for this particular song, at this point in the movie, it's right after Moses has left Egypt and he is in the wilderness. And the people there that he's met, they're trying to honor him for saving some of the young children. And he says, my life, I haven't done anything significant to be honored for. So then this is when the leader sings the song. And so the first couple lines of the song is a single thread in a tapestry, though its color brightly shines, can never see its purpose in the pattern of the grand design. And the stone that sits at the very top of a mountain's mighty face doesn't think it's more important than the stone that forms the base. So he's getting at the idea that the elements in these beautiful works of art, the tapestry, the rug, the painting, the mountain, whatever you want to name, doesn't see how it looks in regards to the grand design, right? That single thread doesn't see the beauty in the tapestry or the rug and all the designs, because all it sees is itself and those around it. But it has a bigger meaning and impact to the full picture. Now, lots of times we are exactly the same way, right? Because we just see ourselves and we fail to see the grand design in our impact in fulfilling that, right? We start to feel insignificant, inadequate, worthless, and it's as if our life has no meaning, but it is the exact opposite. We just can't see the full picture, and we have to try to look at our lives through heaven's eyes. Lots of times I think that we equate being impactful and successful to fame and fortune. We think that we have to be some kind of big shot in order to be successful in life and for our life to have worth. But really, our life has worth and meaning just in us being alive, and it is able to grow every time that we walk and live on purpose, right? So last week I spoke about some of the greats, such as Oprah, Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, and how they started out as beginners, right? Today I want to use them again as an example, saying that every one of us, we're not meant to be in the limelight like they are, right? But that does not make us any less significant than those who are called to be in the limelight. So think back to all the different interviews and speeches and thank yous from the successful people that I've mentioned, and you'll see that they've always mentioned and thanked a specific mentor or teacher who has given them knowledge and wisdom and understanding about life and encouraged them into the profession that they're in, right? They always talk about family members and friends who have constantly loved them and support them and embraced them. They talk about colleagues and managers and producers and others who have helped them in their industry to hone in on their craft and become more successful and help them to network, right? There is a team behind every successful person that we see in life, right? And one can argue that without that team of people, this certain individual wouldn't be as successful as they are. There is an entire team of people working behind people we see in the limelight, and we might never know their name, never know who they are, see their face, but that does not make them any less important than the person in the limelight, because they're still working just as hard. This is a prime example that you can be extremely impactful and successful but not be seen, right? In 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 19 to 24, it's talking about the body of Christ and how every part has its significance and its purpose. It talks about how a eye can't compare itself to a hand and a head can't compare itself to a foot, that each one of those parts has its own purpose and that we wouldn't be able to do one of the things without that body part, right? The same thing goes for us. We all have our place in the body of Christ. We all have our place in this world. And just because we can do different things doesn't make us more significant than somebody else. Then even deeper, think about all the different organs inside of us that we don't even see. Those parts of the body, right? And those parts are never seen, but we know that they're still working in order for us to be alive. And it's crazy to even think about that. You know, we can live and operate without an arm or without a hand, right? But there's certain organs inside that if they, you know, get injured or we don't have them, we wouldn't be able to live, right? And I think that is just so powerful to think that there are things working that's unable to be seen by the eye that still has importance, impact, and significance. And I want to encourage everybody to know that we are the exact same way. You don't have to be seen to be successful. You don't have to be seen to be impactful. We all have our different calling in life. And sometimes we are called to be in the limelight. Sometimes we're called to be the mentor or the educator or the accountability partner or whatever. We all have our different place in our role, and we all have our own significance and worth. So I want to encourage you to live your life on purpose and remember that we each have a part in the grand design. And in those moments, whenever you feel unworth it and you feel like you're inadequate or that you don't have any kind of impact or meaning, remember this and try to look at your life through heaven's eyes. All right, so question time. Just like every other week, I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions. And again, I encourage you to think through them with your accountability partner and see in which ways you've grown and which ways you can continue to grow for the rest of the year. So let's go ahead and get started. Question 1. What is something that you do that showcases your significance? What is something that you do that showcases your significance? Question 2, how is your purpose aligned with those that are around you? How does your purpose align with those that are around you? Thank you for checking out this week's episode of Weekly Words. I pray that you thoroughly enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions for things for me to talk about in the future, feel free to email me at weeklywordsrt@gmail.com. Again, that's weeklywordsrt@gmail.com. Thanks again for watching. Have a great Thanksgiving, and I'll see you back here next time.